Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is a review for Southbound. Now this is an anthology movie that revolves around a stretch of highway and the kind of going-ons of several people travelling through this. Now its stories are somewhat connected but more by theme and an ethereal presence rather than, connective tissue, although there is a couple of stories that are connected. It's really hard to review an anthology movie because it kind of lives and dies by its best and worst stories, and this is one of the more, I'd say, along the board even kind of tales. There are ones I prefer and there is other ones that I wasn't too enamoured with, but over the piece, for the 5 stories I found them quite enjoyable, rather off-putting some of them downright weird, some of them I really liked. So on the first story you've got 2 guys covered in blood, travelling along a road. They've obviously had one hell of a night when something starts stalking them and they seem to get stuck in a loop at this diner station and can't seem to get out of it as this thing encroaches on them. And it's fun. The thing that's coming for them is really weird looking. You're not really too sure how it's going, but it feels a little bit familiar. The second story is about a group of 3 girls who get stranded on the side of the road and get picked up by a clean-cut couple, older couple, who take them in for the night, but this couple aren't exactly who they see. And this was one of the episodes that I was kind of like, I didn't like it at first because I felt like I knew where it was going, and it turned into something a little bit different, which I really liked. The third story, The Accident, is one that I was really put off by. This is probably the most kind of graphic one, as much as blood and guts is counted for in this movie. And it felt familiar along the start, but then it takes this turn when it hits a hospital that I didn't know where it was going to go, and ultimately the way it finishes up was twisted but kind of enjoyable. It went from a really sort of average kind of segment into a really good segment. The fourth segment in this one was probably my favourite, and it involves a man who's looking for his sister, goes into a bar, who the people in the bar turn out to be not quite what they seem, and he gets taken to a kind of in-between place, I think, between the worlds, where he meets other strange creatures. And it was just so fantastical and so creative that it kind of sparked my imagination, and I kind of wished that this story could get blown up into a sort of bigger story, because I want to know more about that kind of world, or the place where they were, and the people that were inhabiting it were really strange, really interesting. The final story connects to one of the other stories, and it's about a family on a holiday who get attacked by people. It's like a home invasion type of thing, but with a twist. And that one again was pretty good. Overall, all the stories were pretty enjoyable, but the thing with an anthology is you don't really get to buy into the characters, and if the stories aren't great, or if they all rely on twists, then they don't quite work. But this one, I think, is pretty solid as anthologies go. There was no terrible stories, there was not really any that were super outstanding, but there were some that I really liked. If you like horror and you like anthology movies, this is one of the better ones that I've seen in recent years. I gave it 3.5 out of 5, and it's something I'll probably go back to and check out again, because I'm pretty sure I missed certain things. There's an overriding theme between all these stories I can't quite put my finger on, but I will when I rewatch, I'm sure of it. If you've seen Southbound, let me know in the comment box below what you thought of it, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.